Hello students, I am here to discuss about the chapter 4. The heading of the chapter is natural resources and their utilization. As you know, natural resources are the resource which are given by the nature as a gift. So today we will discuss how natural resources are important to us, how they are utilized by human beings. Human beings are able to utilize their resources, nearby resources, by their own activities. So see, if they are able to utilize this in proper way, then after it will be continue for their use. If they utilize them for a while and they overutilize them, then after what happens? The things become over, and after means they can't use them for future. So see, what is natural resources? Natural resources means what? How you define natural resources? So see, here defined things of nature that can be put to some use by human beings. Things of nature that can be put to some use by human beings for their growth, development and comfort are called natural resources. See, their growth, it means they can grow with the use of the resources. They can develop with the help of that resources. They can make their life comfortable for the use of that resources. So this is the way by which they are tend to use the resources in their life. Resources are limited. So how we use them, how we can make them for future, available for the future, for our next generation. So say air, water, soil, forest, animals, minerals are resources given by nature. So they are the natural resources. Now we discuss about the types of natural resources. What are the types of natural resources? So natural resources are mainly of these two types: exhaustible and inexhaustible. Exhaustible and inexhaustible. See, exhaustible means what? Exhaustible means they can the resource that can be exhaust through continuous use. It means if you use them continuously, or we can say if you overuse them, it become over from your neighborhood area. So this is resources that can be exhaust through continuous use. So these are soil, forest, groundwater, coal, petroleum, natural gas. These are the natural resources which are categorized in exhaustible natural resources. You can say soil, how? Become over. See, soil fertility become over if we use them more and more, and we can't think about their upliftment. Their fertility of the soil may increase by our own activities. So if we do the activity of their fertility increasing, then after it will be continue for us for several years or century. So, but if we not think about their fertility and their maintenance, then we lost soil. It means soil will be there, but really they are not fertile, or they are not working as the soil have their work. Forest. Forest is also naturally, means they can grow naturally, but really when the use of forest is more and more, means what use they means if we cut the trees more and more and plant very less amount of tree there, what happens? This will really not good for the forest, and after some times the forest area become barren. It means they may make the land deserted. Groundwater, when we take groundwater from the underground sources and use them and throw it out from our neighborhood areas, what happens? That groundwater will not recharge naturally, and then time come when the level of groundwater goes down and finally it become dry. So the groundwater should recharge time to time in cyclic way, then after it will be available for our future. Otherwise, it will scarce and gradually it will scarce to the dry groundwater, means the zone. Coal, you know, we use coal and once we use it become over because it has no any remain residue. So, if properly coal burn and after burning of coal it will not available for its reuse. So, it is also exhaustible source of resources. So, petroleum, once we use petrol, diesel inside the vehicle, they will consume the whole and then it will require next time new amount of petrol required for the new activity. Natural gas also used once and become over. So, these are the exhaustible resources, and inexhaustible resources are resources that can be exhaust, means it will, that cannot be exhaust, means they can stay for longer time to our use. So, see, air, unlimited amount of air present here, sunlight, it is also in more amount. So, these things are in means maximum amount, much amount, then after we use again and again and it will not over. That is why it is advised to use solar energy, solar plates use for means receiving solar energy, and it is also advised to establish the windmill to use the air, moving air, and then we take the energy from them. So, these are the inexhaustible resources which can't be exhaust if they are used more and more. So, see, exhaustible resources are of two types, renewable and non-renewable. Renewable means what? Renewable means you can renew them. It means, see, resources that can be renewed. Renewed means you are able to renew the resources once we use again and again. So, this is the renewable resources, and second is non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are the soil, groundwater, forest. See, soil, this is the example of renewable resources, groundwater and forest. So, how we renew them? So, say soil, if we use the soil and try to maintain their fertility, try to maintain their composition, try to make them natural, then after we use soil in means again and again, they will provide us their fertility. Groundwater, if we use groundwater and do not recharge them, what happens? After some times it becomes dry. So, we use groundwater and try to recharge them again and again. How we recharge? By the help of making shock pit. Shock pits are the pit like structure in which we pour our bathroom water, our kitchen water, or the water used in our house. Means ultimately it goes to the shock pit, and finally the things which are renewed, means the groundwater become recharged. So, this is the way groundwater again recharged, and we help the groundwater to recharge by percolation, by making shock pit. So, this is the way by which we can renew the things or resources. Now, forest, you know, forest gives us so many things directly and indirectly, as the food, as the fruit, as the medicine, as the wood, as the fuel wood. So, these are different type of things they provide us directly, but really they also enhance raining, that is the indirect use of forest or indirect things which we get from the forest. So, see, this is the way forest is also useful to us. Forest resources are also renewed. How? By the help of their afforestation. It means we can plant more and more trees inside the forested area and cut that tree which are really mature, which is really unable to grow now. So, this is the way we can improve the activity of forest. So, this is the renewable resources which is really improved by our own effort. If we make our effort for uplifting them, it is very useful and very profitable for our future generation or for us. Now, non-renewable resources which are really not renewed again. So it is non-renewable resources which is really can't be renewed at a go. So this is once we use and after that it become over. So it is necessary to make the resource renewed, but this non-renewable resources can't be renewed. So see, in this regard, there is the coal, petrol. Example of non-renewable resources, that is coal, petrol, diesel, etc. So once we use them, it is not renewed. So when we use these things which are categorized as non-renewable resources, we are very prompt to use them. So where it is very means we use them honestly. If we use them honestly, it will be last longer. Otherwise, we can't have these things if we overuse them. So this is necessary to make their use honestly and try to search their alternatives. Otherwise, it will over and we are unable to do anything for them. Now, we can discuss the other resources means separately, that is air, that is water, that is land and human resources. So see, air, what is? Air is the mixture of gases and this gas is really present everywhere. So this air when we use is having so many useful substances and some other substances also in it. So air having a composition and this composition make them beneficial for us as well as for plants. So air is present everywhere in the form of atmosphere, means blanket of air around the earth's surface. This is the atmosphere which is composed of air. Air is the mixture of gases. Air mixture of gases means what? The air present around us having so many gases mixed with it. So in air there is it is also a very important resources to us, and there is an envelope of air. So see, in air there is the maximum amount of 78% is nitrogen, very means 21% oxygen and 1% that is other gases. Why air is useful to us? You know, air make the atmosphere ambient to live and it also maintain the temperature of our earth surface. So if the temperature is fluctuating more and more, it means daytime and night time temperature fluctuation is more and more, then we are unable to survive there. We can't survive in that fluctuating condition. So the temperature become normal or it is not fluctuating maximum. So then after we can survive here. So air having capability to attract rain, means raining also takes place due to the presence of air. We can convey the message by talking in presence of air. If there is no air, we are unable to talk. So they have different uses to us, and this is the activities by which we can take benefit from the air. So say air provide us ambient medium. Ambient means the medium which is livable. Second things, they also maintain the temperature. They also help us to make the cloud and the raining when water cycling takes place by them. Second, next thing, that is water. See, this water is useful for us because it has so many activities. From morning to evening or night, we have use of water in different ways. So they are found around us, and we are able to use them in our different activities, like domestic use, like industrial use, like for irrigation, like for the medium of any type of activities, means making the industrial activities, raw materials may use as water. So water is also useful for rearing the fishes. Water is also useful for transportation. It means sea water useful for transportation. So water is a compound, universal compound which have several uses. So if there is no water, what happens? We are unable to sustain our life on earth. So it is either fresh water or marine water. Fresh water means what? Fresh water or marine water. Actually, fresh water having no salt. It has no salt. Marine water having with salt. So say salty water is not useful, more useful than fresh water. Fresh water is very less in amount, but really that is the water which is consumed by us, as well as we can use them in our different activities. So our domestic use, agriculture use, or the use of industry, means in the industry, so fresh water is utilized there. Marine water is useful for pisciculture, for the transportation or other things. So this is the water which is really required to our activities of daily life, as well as the industrial development and the agricultural activities. Now we discuss about the land or the soil, which is necessary on which we can do our activities. So see, soil or land. You know, in geography you have studied about the mountain, study about the plains, study about the plateaus and river basins. So many. Land area means the earth crust. We can say the topmost layer of earth is what? Is the land. So on this area, on the land, we are able to do our activities. So we can make our home, we can make our roads, we can make the railways, we can make the industries, we can make the market complex, we can make the apartments. So many activities. What we think is the basic need is land. So land area is cleared now due to high demand of the activities, man-made activities, due to increasing the human population. So see what happens and how we fulfill the area of land. Nowadays we can use land in different ways. So say earlier there will be no apartment system or multi-stored buildings. Nowadays it is required, or it is demand, and it is necessity for fulfill the demand of the urban area and the developing population. So in a certain land there will be multi-stored building. This building can accommodate so many families. So this is the way by which we can support them, by giving limited area of land and having more accommodation on it. So this is the land by which we can provide the activities of their living. Now see, in land there is also the activity of mineral extraction takes place. Ore extraction takes place from them. Fossil fuel like coal, and sometimes in the water or in the downward in water, means very depth in water, there is also formation of crude oil. So this is the earth crust or the land on which we can do the activity of different things, and these activities are really supportive to our life existing activities. Now the human resources, we are really the human beings, and means categorized as a resource because human beings are able to do different functions. So they are also categorized as a resource. So resource means useful things. Human beings are also useful. So human beings also act as the resource, and it is also nature, given by nature. So this is also natural resources. So human resources, so resource of human population. So many industries require the manual worker. It means the worker which do the work manually. Mechanically, machine will operated by human beings. So one machine can do the work of so many human beings. But really, some of the area where the human beings are required, like tea leaf plucking, takes place by human beings. Cotton ball plucking or the harvesting of cotton balls takes place by human beings. So many agricultural activities as well as industrial activities done by human beings, and in that sense the human beings there is a big resource. So means our India having more means population, that's why we have a rich human resource. If the human resources are skilled, it means if the human resources are very much trained or educated, we can say they are skilled human resource. And really the demand of skilled human resources as an engineer, doctor is of Indian origin are very much required in foreign country, and they gave very prestigious post and package to them. So this is the way by which human resources are also one of the resource given by nature to support us. Now, significant natural resources are why important to us. Significance means how we use them. So, what is the use of these natural resources in our life? So, you see so many resources which we discuss, less means very few of them, air, water, land, human beings, they are the useful things. But really other resources are also very useful, which are given by nature. So, see, natural resources are very useful to us for sustaining our life, as well as the improvement, development, growth takes place by the help of these natural resources. So natural resources are very much required to us. So we have to conserve it, we have to preserve it, or if we are unable to conserve or preserve, then we have to maintain their naturality and make them as usual as it is in the nature. Otherwise, if the natural resources like air damaged, polluted, then what happens? It ultimately affects our body, our health, and we can't survive in polluted water. So this is the way, if we pollute water, if we pollute air, if we pollute the environmental other natural resources, then after ultimately it hamper our health as well as our natural environment. So necessary to use them in proper way. So this is the natural resources which is useful to us. Now conservation of natural resources are very necessary. Conservation means what? We can conserve them and make them natural. So conservation of natural resources is also one of the duty or one of the responsibility of us or human beings. Then we conserve them for their future use. So this is the way we can help the natural resources. Thank you.